Here we are again, folks. True journalism with the amazing Brigitte Gabriel with News You Can Act On. Hello, Brigitte.
Hello, Brent, and I'm delighted to be with you and welcome everybody for joining us. Today, I want to talk about immigration. Brent, you and I are watching the news like a lot of our viewers, and we are watching what's happening at our border. And we cannot believe the state of affair our border is. We never thought it's going to get to this point so fast. But I am so passionate about the immigration issue because I am an immigrant to this country. And I want to make that very clear. We are not anti-immigration. I think almost all Americans, it doesn't matter who you are, most of us ended up in this country because we came here either on the Mayflower or on the TWA like I did. But we came here to build a better life. So every American is connected to immigration in this country. And we all understand the importance of always bringing new blood in, bringing in new people who want to contribute to the country, who want to become a part of the fabric of the American society. And I want to share with you my own experience. I wanted to just clear up front why I am pro-legal immigration, especially as an immigrant to this country. And here is why I am pro-legal immigration. Because when I came into the United States, I went to the American embassy, knocked on the door. Hey, may I come into your country? When you give me permission to come into your country. I got my visa. I paid for my visa. I came to the United States on a visa. When I came to America, I paid for my own airline ticket to come to the United States. I paid for my own attorneys and my own legal paperwork that I had to do to start the process to file for my green card and become an American citizen. And in order for me to get the green card, I had to go and take tests, and I was tested for tuberculosis. I was tested for leprosy, and I hate needles. But I had to do what I had to do because that was the process for me to become an American citizen. And I had to pay for all these doctor's visits, to take all these medical tests. And I hate needles, but I did it anyway because it was part of the process. Once I got the green cards, and by the way, when I came to America, I was already married to an American, a mother of an American child born as an American citizen. So it was not that hard of a process. I came to the US, I still did it by the book. Once I got my green card, I had to wait 4 to 5 years, and then I had to study a 2-inch thick book written by the daughters of the American Revolution about America's history, our judicial process, our Congress, our Bill of Rights, our Constitution. And I had to pass a written exam as well as a verbal exam in English about our Constitution, about our history, about our judicial process, etc., and pass both exams, the written and the oral one, in English in order for me to become an American. By the time I became an American, Brent, I knew more about America and its political process and our judicial system than my American-born husband did. That's the type of American you want to bring into the country. We have a process in place to bring as many people to America as we want, as long as they go through the process and also at a flow that allows us to help them get assimilated into the United States. You can assimilate 50,000 people a year, but you cannot assimilate 500,000 people a year. You cannot assimilate over 1 million people a year. And watching what's happening in the country right now enrages every single American who came to this country and did it by the book. Enrages every person like me who went through the process to become an American. Look, the person sitting behind the camera right now shooting this show is also a legal immigrant to the United States who came here, who did it by the book, who went through the process. And this is how we want all Americans to come. We want people to have an opportunity to come to America, but we want them to come the right way. And right now, there is no right way. Our government doesn't care about our border. Our leaders do not care about our sovereignty. We are hearing about a rise in crime, rise in fentanyl, rise in suicide rates in America, rise in killing because of fentanyl and overdose. we are seeing the crime rate skyrocket by people who have been in our country, who came to our country, who are raping and killing, who came to this country illegally. I can give you example after example. Look at the recent crime we just heard about in Texas, where an illegal immigrant who's been deported out of our country no less than 5 times killed his neighbor sitting in their backyard at a church gathering, whatever visit. 5 of them killed, point blank, assassinated. And he's on the run. And this is not the type of immigrants we want to bring into this country. Now, we named this show News You Can Act On, not just to give you information about what's happening in the country, but also what you can do about it. I created an organization called Act for America, actforamerica.org. And if you go to actforamerica.org right now and click on Act Now, we have many campaigns regarding immigration, many campaigns regarding the border, where we have emails prepared for you to send to your elected officials to let them know that enough is enough. We want secure borders, we want secure country, and we want secure communities. Today is your neighbor who's being killed. Yesterday, it was somebody in another state who's being killed. Today, no matter where you live in America, every state is a border state. You cannot say this does not affect me. It affects everybody everywhere in the United States. Go to actforamerica.org, click on Act Now, and take action. Type in the search bar, immigration, border, and you will get all the Act Now campaigns that we have, which includes bills represented in Congress to secure the border, bills introduced in your state to secure and defend your state and protect your state from criminals, illegal aliens who are in your state. So make sure you go to actforamerica.org and take action right now.
And people can. And you are, folks. You are. You're watching News You Can Act On. You're going to actforamerica.org, and you are taking action. You're signing up for the free action alerts. You're also contacting your representatives. But, folks, we've got to come together. You know, Brigitte, you said many times before, and by the way, I'm so happy you came to America. You escaped some of the things that people are trying to instill now. Our nation is under attack, and our enemies are having a heyday with this leadership vacuum that we are experiencing under the Biden administration. But Brigitte, you came here the right way. You made sacrifices, and talk about being an incredible citizen. There's so many people who'd love for you to run for president, Brigitte, because your passion dwarfs those of the average American. And with Act for America, having done what it's done, passing over 180 bills, all the actions that have been taken by Act for America, by Brigitte Gabriel, and with News You Can Act On, folks, you can do something about the problem. You know, Brigitte, our border is wide open. We've alerted the community many times before. Your voices are being heard. You know, we've heard reports of fentanyl being dropped by drones in Texas. You know, people talk about the children being separated from families. So much child sex trafficking because of the cartels having a heyday at the border. 85,000 children have been lost by the Biden administration. Folks, where does it end? Well, it ends when citizens like you take action, when you go to actforamerica.org, and also when you stand with us today with your tax-deductible financial contribution. The number's on your screen, 1-888-999-1928. That's 1-888-999-1928. Make a difference and act for America today.
Exactly. And we named the organization Act for America. Not think about America, not hope for America, not wish for America, not pray for America, but act for America. Because you should think and pray and hope for our country. We all do. But without taking action, nothing happens. And you know, Brent, things are getting bad regarding immigration and this lawlessness in our country. When the New York Times starts talking about the child labor, the children who are human trafficked into our country, and now they are working for corporations who are abusing them. When the New York Times start talking about child labor in our country, you know we have a problem. The thing that's even more egregious that I saw a picture of today is when we see children in cages. Literally, I just saw a picture of children on the border in literal cages. And what's enraging me is the media is not talking about that. That's why we need to start squeaking. We need to start talking. We need to start contacting our elected officials. We need to start speaking up. Look, in the beginning, nobody cared because Texas was inundated, Arizona was inundated, California was inundated. And people who live on the East Coast or live in any part or in any state not connecting to the Mexican border, they didn't care because they thought, oh, that's just a problem affecting, those border states. Right now, when you see immigrants or migrants, I don't want to call them immigrants, when you see illegal aliens being bussed all over the country, to New York, to Denver, to Wyoming, to Montana, to Maine, to Vermont, all over the country, to North Carolina, to Virginia. Every state is a border state. And we want to be able to live in a community. Look, we have enough criminals in the United States. The last thing we need is to bring more criminals into our own communities that we do not know anything about. This is a problem, not to mention the millions of dollars that we are spending on illegal immigrants right now. Do you know, Brent, the cost is in the billions, over $200 billion a year that is being squandered on illegals. We are putting illegals in five-star hotels that are being destroyed by these criminals, by these illegal aliens. Yet our veterans are sleeping on the side of the street. I can tell you, Brent, I travel all over the country. I travel on business because Act for America has chapters nationwide. I travel to meet with donors nationwide. I travel and speak nationwide. And, usually we stay at hotels, and we usually stay at the cheapest hotel, whatever days in, whatever inn you can get, the cheapest rate, or, stay 3 nights, get another night free, those type of hotels. And so when we get into community and we meet people who are telling us, look, the 5-star hotels in our community are filled with migrants who are brought in and put in these hotels, to the point where, these top hotels, they are urinating in the hallways. We have a friend who just emailed me to the website. He said, I just took my wife on our 25th wedding anniversary to the Fairmont, one of the Fairmonts in California, Fairmont Hotel, 5-star hotel. I can't even afford to stay at the Fairmont. And then he said, we wanted to go there for our 25th wedding anniversary. It's a special hotel for us. It means a lot. He said the smell of urine in the hallways was so bad, and the loud noises coming from literally people in the neighboring rooms. He said we saw people drunk in the hallway on our floor going to the elevator. They canceled their stay. They had booked for 4 nights. They canceled their stay after 2, and they are fighting with the hotel to get a refund, and the hotel is not even refunding them. This is what's happening in our country right now. Now, most of the stuff you don't hear about because people don't talk about it, but we are talking about it because we do want to make a difference. We have many Act Now campaigns on our website. One of the campaigns is Stop the Invasion. You go to actforamerica.org, click on Act Now, and you'll see all the border, anything relating to the border bills. I suggest you type in the search bar, border or immigration, so you get specifically the Act Now campaigns we have that has to deal with immigration and the border. And please take action, and please share our website with everyone you know. Our philosophy is this: when everyone does a little, together we accomplish a lot.
It's so true, Brigitte. There's no website like this. There's no organization like Act for America. I'm there right now, actforamerica.org. When you go to Act Now, you can click national or state. And I'll tell you what, we keep you informed, not only with news you can act on, but my goodness, I've never seen anything like this, folks. actforamerica.org, a hub of education, of resources. Some of you want to get into the political world. You don't know where to start, but you want to stand for your country. A lot of you have children that are interested in this as well. Brigitte, it's been said, a lot of great things have been said about you as well. And that is that you're raising up future leaders. Folks, actforamerica.org is a resource. It's a hub. You can make your voice heard. You can stay informed and know what you're talking about, but you can also do your part in taking action. So many ways to do it. And there's so many ways to connect with us and to stand with us with your tax deductible donation. Brigitte, earlier today, I was talking to a television show about you, about Act for America.
Oh, thank you.
Oh, yeah. And of course, I'm so proud of it. There's no other news show like news you can act on, folks. It does take resources to produce shows and to air on platforms. And you know what? We're happy to do it for you. So happy you're standing with us when you call that 1-888-999-1928. That's 888-999-1928. But get involved with Act for America. Your voice does matter. Your citizenship is worth something. Use your rights while you have them and stand with Act for America today.
That's right. And I understand how easy we can lose those rights. You know, I was born and raised in Lebanon, a republic just like the United States of America. And I watched with, I'm an eyewitness as to how you can lose a country when you don't pay attention to what's happening in your borders or who's coming to your country. Lebanon, my country of birth, is now like Venezuela. It went from being Paris of the Middle East to now becoming like a socialist, destroyed, what President Trump would call, in colorful language, a hellhole country. But because it was destroyed, because we did not read the writing on the wall. I understand what it's like to lose your rights just because you did not pay attention. Right now in Lebanon, if you like a tweet that the government doesn't agree with, you are thrown in jail. In jail for 10 days. I have a friend who liked one of my tweets. Did not tweet it himself, but he liked one of my tweets. He's in jail for 10 days. And if you think this cannot happen in America right now, it's already starting to happen. We need to make sure we stand up. And look, what we give you with this show is something to do, action you can take, not just get informed. Getting informed on our side, Brent. Our side want to listen to information. And I'm sure you noticed, our friends who are watching us right now, I'm not just giving you information. I can sit here and rattle data for you and read to you a report and a white paper and give you information for half an hour. Instead, what I'm doing is I'm giving you a little bit of information about the problem we have, but I'm speaking a lot about what you can do to make a difference. We have action alerts prepared for you, where we have an email. You go in, you enter your name and your address. We connect you directly with your elected officials. Whether you are in Wyoming, we'll connect you with your elected officials in Wyoming on the state and the federal level, or whether you are in Maine on the other side of the country, we will connect you with your elected officials. We tell you, confirm, are these your elected officials? You click confirm. And then we have an email pre-written for you. You don't even have to think what to tell them, because we monitor the bills on Capitol Hill. We know what the names of the bills are. We know who are the sponsor. We know what the bill says. We write for you all that in an email that you can send to your elected officials saying, I want you to take action on this bill. I want you to secure our border. I want you to stop the invasion. You click confirm, your email goes to your elected official. We have social media posts prepared for you. Facebook posts, Twitter posts prepared by our professional social media team. If you don't know how to create a meme, if you do not know how to create a social media post, we have it already for you with the click of a button. You can post it on your social media, and you can also tag your elected officials so you can make sure they see it and their followers see it. We also give you their phone number so you can call them. We also have a script written for you. You could literally read off the screen when you are talking with them on the phone. We make it so easy for you to take action because it is important to take action. And look, Brent, one more thing I want to bring out. I was talking with my husband this morning, and we were talking about the difference between the right and the left. On the right, how we have talk radio. We always, fell back on, well, thank God, at least we've got talk radio and people can still be informed through talk radio, etc. And we used to laugh in the past about how the left could not get talk radio going. How they tried to have their own talk radio shows and they all failed. They couldn't get talk radio show going. Here's the reason why. Because on our side, people like to sit on their behind and listen, be entertained, not take action. They would sit in their cars driving for an hour listening to Hannity or to Bill O'Reilly or to whatever social personality you like. They're all fantastic. They are actually all my friends. I know them personally, from Mike Gallagher to Sean Hannity to, at that time, Bill O'Reilly to Charlie Kirk. You name it, I know them. But our side likes to listen to information as a passive entertainment observer. On the left, the reason why they couldn't get their talk shows going is because on the left, they are only interested in action. Don't sit there and lecture me for 3 hours about the nitty-gritty of whatever you're talking about. I don't care about that. Give me what to do, and I will do it right now. I want to take action. And that's why the left is very organized as community activists, and they are organized in their neighborhoods, and they are organized in their communities, and they are organized in their cities, while our people sit on the sidelines, listen to talk radio 3 hours a day, or watch news television on the conservative side, and they wake up the day after the election and they wonder, what happened to the red wave? How did we lose the election? How come we were not able to change the status quo? Because education is important, but education by itself is not sufficient. Education must be coupled with action. With Act for America, we're not going to shove information down your throat for 3 hours. We're not going to send you emails with 3,000 words that it takes you 6 minutes to read an email. We make it quick. We tell you what the problem is. We say, take action. Here's an email to your elected officials. Click, 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 click. Sent. That's how you make your voice heard. Join us as a digital activist. Go to actforamerica.org. Sign up to get our emails. And please stand with us as a member. Stand up, become a member. Join the largest, most influential, most exciting, most patriotic organization, grassroots organization on the right, devoted to saving our country. You can be a monthly member at the $10 level, at the $20 level, at the $50 level, the $100 level. By all means, if you are able to stand with us at the $1,000 level, be my guest monthly. You know, we'll be so grateful for you. But whatever you do, please stand with us and take action. We need you now more than ever. Now is the time. Now we need to stand up and save our country. It's now or never. We can no longer afford to sit on the sidelines and get educated without taking action. We need you engaged.
And engaged is what you must be, folks. You know, Brigitte, some way, somehow, there's a disconnect. You know, when conservatives, you said it before, you know, conservatives usually only need one reason not to vote, when the left only needs one reason to vote. And we know that the other side doesn't play fair. We know there's a lot of financial incentivism when it comes to activism and protest, when the average protester doesn't even know what they're protesting. All they know is they have a lead pipe and they have a $200 check from Soros or from the left. But, you know, Brigitte, there's no disconnect with you. You watched Lebanon transform from being the Paris of the Middle East to a hellhole that it can be today. And folks, that's why she's passionate. She's seen it firsthand. How people wish in Venezuela that they just would have voted when they could have. How my friends and my connections in China that are persecuted for their faith, that have spent time in prison, wish they just would have voted and taken it seriously. And of course, in history, how the Germans, the majority of Germans that didn't agree with Hitler, wished they would have voted and not watch their rights go away. Did you know that 7 million Christians were killed in the Holocaust before the 6 million Jews were killed? They were disarmed. Folks, I tell you what, people don't know that. The media is not going to tell you.
That's right.
But it's voices of truth like Brigitte Gabriel and like News You Can Act On that will not only give you the truth, but give you the tools you need to take action today so that you don't have to firsthand watch America become a hellhole. You need to go to actforamerica.org right now. And, you know, a lot of people, you're working 2 or 3 jobs trying to keep up with this inflation. Well, folks, you know what? Some would say it may get worse before it gets better. If you can't do much, or you don't believe that you can stand with us financially. Today alone, you're probably going to spend $35 on DoorDash, maybe $60, or through that drive-through. Have you noticed how much more expensive junk food is? Well, make an internal investment in the lives of your children and your children's children when you call 1-888-999-1928. That's 1-888-999-1928 and make your tax-deductible contribution, or I should say investment, in your country with Act for America today.
That's right. Tax deductible contribution. Your tax deductible gift, instead of sending it to the IRS, send it to Act for America and bring down your income so the money doesn't go to the IRS and you'll be able to help us save our country. We need to come together to save the country. We cannot do it by ourselves. We are only as strong as our supporters. The left walks their talk. They put their money where their mouth is. We need the right to come together and stand with us. We do not sell your name. We do not rent your name. We do not lease our database. I made that a policy ever since I started Act for America in 2002. That we will never sell, share, or rent our database to anybody. When you stand with us as a Patriot partner and support our work, we're not going to bombard you by text. We're not going to bombard you by email. You will know that you are helping us make a difference for the country while at the same time getting the tax deduction and taking action on things that actually make a difference. And as you mentioned, Brent, Act for America has helped pass 180 bills on the federal level and the state level to protect the country. We have helped pass over 30 Stop Zuckerbucks bills in 30 states. That's why this last election, you did not hear much in the election of 2022 about Zuckerbucks bills and ballot boxes, because we have passed a bill that stopped it in its track in 20 and 30 states. This is the type of work that Act for America does, and we are asking you to stand with us and support our work in any way you can. We need to save our country, and we need to save our country now. Our America is standing on a cliff. The time to prepare is now, not 2 months before an election, not after the election, wake up and say, oh my gosh, yeah, here's what happens, Brent. The day after the election, especially if we lose, our people wake up and say, oh my God, I'm so frustrated, forget it, I'm not going to vote. Or they say, okay, next election, hopefully things will change. Things will not change unless we change the way we are doing things. And the way we are doing things right now on the Republican side is sitting around, getting entertained, going to conferences, listening to talk radio, watching television, and saying to ourselves, oh, I will vote. I vote every 2 years. A lot of things happen between the 2 years. A lot of things happen between the 2 years. And by the way, we have a victory to report, like in the shooting that happened in Nashville. They were not going to release the manifesto of the shooter. We put a petition out and we mobilized our people to take action and put the pressure on elected officials to release the manifesto. And I'm proud to tell you, 2 days later, they decided to release a manifesto. Don't think that your voice does not count. Your voice counts, your action counts, and together we are going to make a difference for the United States of America, the most exceptional nation on the face of the planet. That's why people like me immigrate to this country. And we want to keep our country as great as the country I immigrated to in 1989. Brent, I immigrated to America in 1989. The country has transformed so much between 1989 and now, it's unrecognizable to the immigrant Brigitte Gabriel, who first came to this country in 1989. And that needs to change.
The enemy of the best is the good. Conventions are good. Sharing memes are good. Talking to the water cooler is good. But folks, you have to take action now. We are mobilizing the nation with news you can act on and Act for America. Another fantastic show, Brigitte. Thank you so much.
Thank you, my friend. May God bless you, and may God bless the United States of America.